Hey everybody, Bo Bruskern here from the FinTech Nexus studio in Denver. First, before I get into the SVB story, I just want to make sure to disclaim um, expertise here and also information. I haven't talked to anybody at SVB or the government or any of the other players. I'm just sort of regurgitating what I understand, or sort of, let me say that differently. I'm telling you what I understand from the information that I've gleaned, and I may be sorely mistaken. But here's what I've gleaned. I don't think this is contagious. And I believe that there will be a quick recovery. So that's the TLDR. Here's why. SVB caters to Silicon Valley. It was a uniquely well positioned recipient for all the free money that the government has been pouring into our system for years, and their assets mushroomed. Now, they made some mistakes along the way of sort of mismatching assets and liabilities, and maybe putting too much money in places where it couldn't readily access them. So, lending money at, let's say, 1.6% in a commercial backed real estate security that has a 10-year maturity. Um, and that's a fine strategy when things continue like they have been, and you can't get more than, let's say, 1.6% yield. But in time, when times change, and all of a sudden we can get 3, 4, 5% yields, and the free money era isn't free anymore, and the uh, venture capitalists or the asset allocators taking money and putting into the venture funds, who then put it into the venture backed companies. When those sort of spigots turn off like they have, and then you've got assets shrinking at SVB, and you have to unload those positions and you have to sell them at discounts, like that creates a cascade of problems. And what happened is, long story short, that came to roost for SVB. This is, in short, why I think it's not systemic. This is a problem that is unique to SVB's unique selling proposition. They bank it's not all, but a huge portion of the limited partners, the general partners, the funds, the venture backed companies, and, as a matter of fact, a lot of the executives and investors. So there's a lot of pain going around right now, no doubt about it. But I believe it's isolated to that community, not systemic. Will it be shorn up? I believe it will. Now, first of all, the FDIC has stepped in. That's a Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. The beautiful thing that came out of the Glass-Steagall Act is the FDIC was established, and it's basically guaranteed deposits at banking institutions. So if you think about it, like your community bank goes out of business, your regional bank goes out of business, and it shuts its door because of bank run. Your 250 up to $250,000 of your personal deposits or your company's deposits guaranteed by the U.S. government. You're going to walk in the next day. The FDIC is going to say, "Here's your 250K that you had in the bank." Now, let's say you had 10 million in the bank. They're still going to say, "Here's your 250K." That's a problem for SVB as well. Most of their depositors actually have pretty significant balances. The vast majority of their depositors have very significant balances. So the pain is acute in those sectors. Now, over the weekend, all my comments are going to become very irrelevant. It'll be this is a moment in time where I'm like telling you what I know now. We're going to learn over the weekend what happens with SVB. Will it get purchased by a big bank that can basically make good on all of those deposits, has ready cash that can sort of, they can match the deposits and the loan books that SVB has in a way that makes it sort of magically whole again and liquid. I think there's a pretty good chance that happens. But in this moment, we don't know that. So going into the weekend, I would say this is not a time for panic. This does not feel contagious at all. And I believe we are going to find some good, potentially very good news early in the week next week, and things will really start to normalize pretty quickly. yes, this is a big disaster. Yes, there was mismanagement. I seriously doubt there was malfeasance here. I don't think anyone intended to make this happen. So, um, that's what I've got for you right now. And hopefully I'll be able to come back with something that's more intelligent and maybe more informed next week. But until then, keep up the hard work. Take care.